Hello, I'm Donna Leone. For my author's review, I chose Ezra Jack Keats. I chose him because of the book Snowy Day, which was one of my favorites when I was a child. Being from New England, it was easy for me to relate playing in the snow and wanting it to last forever. As I look back, I can see this is how my mother introduced diversity, and she gave me an understanding of different cultures. Mr. Keats, formerly known as Jacob Jack Keats, changed his name in 1947 due to his own personal experiences of discrimination. It was at this time where he really began to develop a sense of empathy towards others with similar racist issues. He was born on March 11, 1916, to Benjamin Keats and Augusta Keats, of Polish Jewish descent. They lived a very poor life in East New York. To help his family at the age of 8 years old, Ezra painted a sign for a local store and earned 25 cents. It was quickly noticed that Ezra was very artistic, talented, and a bright student. In junior high, he was awarded his first medal for drawing. At Thomas Jefferson High School, he won a contest for creating an oil painting given by Scholastic Publishing Company. So you can see Ezra did not mean to write books. His love was truly in drawing. As his parents were supportive, especially his mother, his father was more worried that his artistic talents would not support him or a family. Although he felt this way, deep down he realized his son's ability. It was reported that he secretly traded food for paintbrushes and tubes of paint for his son. It wasn't until his father passed away that Ezra learned how his father truly felt. Ezra's dad passed away the night before he graduated from high school, where he was awarded his senior class Medal of Excellence. Although Ezra did receive scholarships for art school, he did not go. He stayed and supported the family. He went to the Army in 1943. He was the designer of the camouflage patterns that the military still use today. He continued studying while he was in Europe and France. When he returned to New York, he worked as a commercial artist. He had illustrated some comic books, painted murals, and illustrated book covers. His publications were beginning to appear and get some attention. It was soon after this when editor Elizabeth Riley of Crowell Publishing Company asked him to write children's books. He stated, "I didn't even want to get into writing children's books." He published his first picture book in 1954 called Jubilant Pursuit. Ezra's first book he wrote was called My Dog is Lost in 1960. This book was about a little Spanish boy from Puerto Rico who just arrived to New York and he lost his dog. He began to look for the dog in the neighborhood, and as he did, he met a variety of other children who came from other countries. You can clearly see where Ezra was going with this and his interest in writings. I think this is what my mother had noticed about his style of books. He had a depth beyond what others could feel or see at this time. He would soon bring forth change and color to his readers. 2 years later, the world was introduced to Peter, the beloved little boy that would be the character of 6 of his books. He said he got his inspiration of Peter from a photo strip of a little black boy that he just loved to look at. The Snowy Day, his first Caldecott Medal, was awarded in 1963. Keats grew up Peter with his reader. I was one of them. In many of his next stories, he continued to use minority children, introducing the generation of the 70s to diversity, and it changed many people. His unusual way of blending his mediums and textures gave his illustrations a unique life to his books. He was one of the first writers who was bridging the gap of graphic arts, and he didn't even know it. I can still hear my voice as a child reading The Snowy Day.
One winter morning, Peter woke up and looked out the window. Snow had fallen during the night. It covered everything as far as he could see. After breakfast, he put on his snowsuit and ran outside. The snow was piled up very high along the streets to make a path for walking. Crunch, 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 his feet sank into the snow.
Mr. Keats received numerous personal honors and dedications, significantly from UNICEF, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, American Library of Congress, Harvard University, and many, many more. This great man left a legacy of change in a time when people were confused, unsure, and fearful. Through his talents, he was able to let us see through the eyes of a child who do not see color and just read for fun. And I will pass it on to my children in generations to come.